this intro should be, because even though I'm kind of guiding it, it was Quattro's idea. Let's see. Hello, everyone. I am here to tell your fortune, and I give you a card, and the card has a guy flying towards telephone wires in an air balloon, and you ask if that's bad, and it is.
Oh no.
I'm Morg, my pronouns are they, he, and yeah, I got the tarot cards, baby.
I'm Quatre. My pronouns are they, he, she, and I believe in the heart of the cards.
Hi, I'm Izzy. My pronouns are she, he, they, and is the the mechanical fortune teller from Big Enemy Big?
Maybe.
Am I gonna turn into Tom Hanks overnight?
Well, hopefully not. I don't know how to.
There's an advantage that I could go steal his shit.
True. I don't know how to read crystal balls, and I barely know how to read.
I barely know how to read.
I barely know how to read. Jared 19. I barely learned how to read.
I'm Jared 20. He's got a year now.
True.
To learn how to read. Oh.
But yeah, we mentioned in I think the last episode, or like a recent one at least, that it'd be cool to think about like what characters we have that might fit like tarot cards, mostly major arcana, just because that's like the ones people hear about, a lot of times, like from I feel like a lot of friends I know it mostly from like the Persona games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Persona and JoJo's.
And JoJo's, yes, of course. So I don't think I just haven't. I'm less experienced with JoJo, but I think we're going to talk about this using, my deck, but also like the Wikipedia page and the I think I'm on like Vivid tarot.com. But we're gonna use the Rider-Waite deck. That's like the one you've probably heard of. And we're gonna start with the Fool. And the Fool is, they're young, they're like inexperienced, they tend to. Oh, I forgot, we were gonna go into this, and you had asked before recording, Izzy, if we're gonna do like upright and reverse and flip. And like I think if we have ideas for reverse, that could be cool, like if you were like, this is a different person. But honestly, a lot of people, the reverse is just like, it tends to be more extreme versions of the upright in one direction or another. Someone who might be like, one of the cards is like, oh, creative, but then it's like, oh, they're overwhelmed when it's upside down. When it's reversed. So like, for example, the Fool is like, this young guy like starting a journey, but when it's reversed, it might be like, oh, they're naive or unfinished or immature or any of these things. Oh my gosh, Gizmo. Speaking of young and immature, my cat. Ow.
Hi, Gizmo.
Ow.
Gizmo wants to be the Fool.
He is a fool. He didn't like the way I picked him up, and he accidentally scratched me a little bit.
Oh no.
How dare.
Anyway, so, they're like, it's like an open, willing energy. It's like, this is nothing, the world hasn't tainted this kid yet,
Mm-hmm.
Or, in Eidolon, which is a lot of why I know tarot stuff, is like, you become who you needed to be. Sorry, you become who you're needed to be in the moment, and because it's a lot of very like morphing. You got a lot of potential. So, do we have any characters that are like, wow, this character has crazy potential?
I'm not sure about the potential part. The rest of the description. I have one.
Yeah, sure.
That sounds like a newt.
I think that makes sense because Newt's like pretty young too. Also.
Yeah, our one child character.
It doesn't have to be a young character, I should say, but there's just a lot of like they're easy to like adapt and stuff. It's very like open-ended, and they can suit a situation, and I think that makes a lot of sense. At least from what I know of Newt, I feel like there's still some stuff I don't know yet.
There's a lot of stuff I don't know.
Oh, well,
Newt is more a concept than anything else.
And if that's not a fool, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Oh, well, shit.
Got a lot of potential, because we don't know who that is yet.
We haven't played that game. We haven't even, really started planning to play that game.
Yeah. Even if we're excited about it. So the Fool's technically 0, because it goes, 0 to 21 when there's 22 cards. So the first one, the one that's labeled 1, but the second card is the Magician. The Magician is like tends to be, something like raw power and inspiration, but like in a different way than the Fool. It tends to be more focused into something. It's like a success a lot of times if it's upright. There's a lot of like the Magician is usually this guy on the card, and they have like things around them to cast spells with. Like a lot of times they have like tarot cards have a minor arcana, and they have like the cups, the wands, they're either called coins or pentacles, and swords. And a lot of times the Magician has all of these like little things like on their table or underneath them. They're like very, it's associated a lot with like magic, as you can maybe tell by the name. Transmutation, talismans. It tends to be more like outwardly,
I don't think I have anyone that's Magician fit.
They tend to be. Do you like? I don't know I have a character that maybe fits more for the High Priestess, who's kind of right after the Magician, but also is often associated with like magic and stuff. Magic, but the feminine version, which I'm only like partially joking on. The cards are very gendered. I have a deck that is less gendered, like the Emperor is like a woman and stuff like that, and instead of the Hanged Man, it's called the Hanged One. It's called the Hanged One, and stuff like that. But they still tend to have a lot of this yin, like the masculine feminine energy about it. Like if you hear about like pagans and stuff talk about like things having both of these energies, it's very like split down the middle. And the High Priestess is kind of the feminine version of the Magician. But Magician might what?
Or I could suggest Lens, maybe. It's not very magical, but he's a little magical with the eye stealing and stuff.
Yeah, they could be. It doesn't. They don't have to like actually like You're not like you're doing a tarot reading. You're getting like a magic user in your reading. You're not gonna like actually do magic in real life, but
not all of us are here, so we can always skip one if we don't feel that we have any good ones.
Yeah. I considered. I think at some point I made like ideas for like a tarot card using various ESO-verse characters, but I think the Magician might have been one of Pat's characters, if I remember correctly, so that's not helpful either for with ideas.
That would actually fit, I think that would fit either of Pat's characters.
Yeah.
Because different ways I can see it being Silica or Arla.
Yeah, I think I had it as Arla initially, but it's because I know Arla better, to be fair. So yeah, I guess let's skip that one for now, maybe. The second one, I was already kind of talking about the High Priestess. She tends to be associated a lot with like mystery and like intuition and like listening to your inner voice, your instincts. It's very like internalized, right? Like it's very like I'm gonna look for meaning within me. That's why a lot of times like the reverse is like you cut yourself off from the world, maybe too much. But I was thinking like I think that the tiefling that I play, Echo, in my D&D campaign that I haven't really talked about on podcast yet, might fit High Priestess. There's also a world where like I could also put like a version of Treble as the High Priestess too.
Ooh.
But I had initially put Treble as the Strength card. But they've changed a lot since I made that deck idea too, to be fair. Yeah. And also, I think, like, if you guys have ideas, you're like, oh, actually, I have a character that would fit this too. Like, you can always jump in and talk about that too. Especially because, there's a lot of overlap with these cards, though, so you might find something else later that would fit better. Also. Yeah. She tends to be very witchy, even though she's called a priestess, you know. I think the magician...
I would just skip the magician for now.
No, I know. I was trying to think about something else, but I was like, there used to be a card that used to be called the Pope, but that was actually the Hierophant.
It's the Hierophant. I'm looking at the list.
I messed that up a little bit. I think it might actually be the Hierophant and the High Priestess that are parallels. I'm not sure, but we'll get there later, I guess. Next is Empress, number 3. The Empress is associated a lot with, like, creativity and encourages, like, compassion, beauty, love. Like, we had started to talk about some of the intuition femininity with the High Priestess, but this one's even, like, more into, like, that divine feminine you may have heard of before. She's very, like, associate a lot with fertility. And, like, she's the queen. You know, she's the empress. She's the nurturing, abundant, in Eidolon, it's you create something. Because there's a lot of, like, beauty of creation stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, literally fertile. It can be, like, figuratively fertile.
My most nurturing character is Ace, the gym leader.
Yeah. Like, I think Gal would either go Empress or Temperance. And I think Temperance is funnier.
Temperance is always kind of a hard one for me for, like, picking, especially, like, for, you know, would it be my resonant, like, what character has that as a resonant or dissonance or whatever, but
I am going just off of, like, the little, like, 4-word things on tarot.com.
Oh, do they have a little explanation there?
Yeah, they have some of it. You can also click on them for, like, more of an explanation. It's, you know... There's also, like, Bibbidi Tarot. Tarot? Why do I keep saying that? Tarot. You don't pronounce the second T. What the fuck?
You would if you were Belgian.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. I also forgot I had this little booklet in one of my tarot card things. I have this Dragon Tarot deck. And they have, like, a nice little thing of, like, the Fool is a new chapter opening in one's own life as, like, a little, you know, the Magician, putting across your message from wider audience, reason, performance. High Priestess is be guided by your intuition. So yeah, that one we kind of got the nail on the head there. But yeah, so your most creative guy is for the Empress. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know so little about this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do also with looking at the card, so that doesn't always help an audio medium.
Yeah.
I started to describe one of them, but I haven't been, like, consistent in describing them.
Yeah, I mean, and
there's so many
different ones, so, like, people can just go look.
Yeah, we just stick to the one on tarot.com. Let's not make it too complicated for us.
That's like the Rider-Waite.
And then we're all looking at the same art.
Yeah, don't make me pull out the Sonic the Hedgehog tarot.
Right, but that's the Rider-Waite deck is the one on tarot.com. You know, you have the Fool with the little, like, bindle. and all that.
But, like, with what you know of her, which do you think of those two would fit?
I think Empress would probably fit Gal better.
Okay.
Tabritz is like moderation and patience.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know she has more of that than maybe oh my god.
Than anyone. Any of my characters, really.
Yeah. I was thinking specifically of her girlfriend. But
Jolene. Jolene, who I think would either be strength or the devil based on my limited knowledge.
Oh, that's fun. Also, if any of these, like, if you're like, oh, I want to talk about the devil in this episode, I can also skip ahead.
No, let's just go with what you were doing. I would just like, do you think this one would fit, or do you think the other one would fit? So let's just slot her in there for now.
Who says they can't have multiple cards? We make the rules.
Also, is anyone taking notes?
I'll take those notes when I edit the episode.
Okay.
I've just been spouting. I've just been talking.
Okay, so let's put Gal as the Empress. And then next is the Emperor?
Yes. The Emperor is this, like, kind of dominating force, right? Like, there tends to be like a strength, leadership, very, 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 like, masculine ruler coded, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But is also associated with like the affairs of a society or community. It's also like just like an enlightened energy kind of, but it's fun because it's also for like Eidolon, it's associated with you break something. So it could also be like destruction and dominance. Like how do you take dominance here? You know, it can be something scary, but it can also be something good, you know?
Yeah, I'll have one in mind for that one.
I kind of wanted to put, even though she's kind of tries to be empressy or tries to be kind of like more feminine about it, I think it'd be interesting if like Cursor was the emperor.
Yeah.
Because she's very like domineering.
Oh, I'm laughing because I was like, that's Cursor or Alexis, who are
very similar.
Who are scarily similar.
Yes. But I feel like I have a better grasp over who Cursor is than Alexis, to be honest. Because I can be more extreme about it, you know?
Yeah.
So she's more of a character I could play as, whereas Alexis is just like a lady you unfortunately probably would know in real life. Who sucks. But yeah, that was my thought. But so the next one is the Hierophant. The Hierophant. If we're playing, you might also know these from The Binding of Isaac, because they're tarot cards. The Binding of Isaac. I just said it like the guy does in the game, who's just like the Hierophant, and that made me go, oh yeah. That's how I know that. That's why I know that the way I was saying it. This is associated a lot with like old people. Sorry, wise people. Let's say.
Just about to say, that's odd. That's oddly shallow of these cards.
like, you know, it's the Pope, you know, it's the righteous, hierarchical, oh my god, I have such a hard time with that word. Hierarchy.
Can I suggest a character completely ignoring the meaning of this card? But I have... That's a great beginning, isn't it?
Okay. It could be about, like, wisdom.
No, I'm going somewhere. Hold on.
I'm scared.
Oh, I love it.
I have a D&D character who has now on multiple accounts pretended to be a priest. And who has also had someone follow them along for a little bit who worshipped them.
I'm gonna be honest, that sounds more like the devil to me.
No, Excalibur's really sweet.
I know, and I don't mean it, like, in a mean way, but, like, that action is very, like...
And I have no one for the Hierophant.
Excalibur could be associated with, like, study, right? Like, aren't they, like, a... What kind of magic do they do? I don't...
They're a sorcerer.
Okay. I was like, if they're like a wizard or something.
No, but you're right. They're probably get to share that devil card with the other 90% of our characters.
Yeah.
I promise they're not all going to fit under devil. I promise.
Yeah.
Most of mine would fit under that.
Yeah, if we don't have one, let's just go to the next one.
Okay.
I mean, I am keeping in mind Emery probably wants to participate too.
Yeah. And Godfrey needs to sleep at some point.
Hierophant could also fit Ricotta.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Maybe. It kind of does.
Yeah. I just realized, I was like, maybe. I'm still kind of exploring who Ricotta is. But they kind of have that vibe a little bit. But also we could hold off too. The next one is the Lovers. You are faced with two paths associated with, like, duality, but you know, you get this card. If you get this card in your, like, relationship ratings, you're like, cool. Good. It doesn't necessarily have to be strictly romantic, because there's also, like, it's reflected a lot of, like, choosing a partner in general, and that, you know, that can mean partner of various things. It's just like, there's a lot of, you know, like, I feel like a lot of times, you would have maybe, like, two different characters on it. Like, I would suggest even, like something like, Xenu Gilly on the Lovers or something, if you didn't want them on a different card. But I could also
Vortex and the 99 Girlfriends.
God! Vortex is 90. Vortex is like 97 girlfriends because she still doesn't have 100 or whatever.
Yeah, what?
It's the biggest card in the deck. You immediately know you're gonna draw it.
Christ.
Yeah, my only suggestion for this one was Skylar.
Actually, that's great because, yeah, like the Lover, even just like thematically, because they tend to be like naked people on it.
Yeah. And technically, Skylar, two characters.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's like Lovers to the next level, you know?
It's about loving yourself sometimes. DM.
Honestly, it could. I do have characters that are like multiple characters, so
I don't have some characters that contain multitudes.
I don't think Treble Nightcore would fit this, but I think my character Kaida and Patricia like would fit that more.
I'm surprised we have so many characters that fit for the Lovers.
Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Venom.
Oh,
it's also associated with the Gemini, which I am.
Oh, I'm also a Gemini. Not a lover, though. Could never.
Can't help being a Gemini.
Help being a Gemini.
That's why I'm indecisive. What? Who said that?
Who said that?
Anyways. The Chariot.
That sure
is some card art.
Mm-hmm.
I know. The one I have
that looks like a steamroller. To me.
Oh my god, it kind of does.
He's going to squish those sphinxes.
Yeah.
Get out the way.
No.
The one I have in this deck that I have open right now is like a spaceship, but the one that I have in the game that I was using for Eidolon is actually like a woman on a motorcycle.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun because that's the one that I associate like strongly with like the old version of Dory, because that was her resonant card was a chariot, and also like she would be the lady, like maybe not on a motorcycle but on like a car, you know.
Yeah.
Doing a cool pose in a car.
I mean, I think at least the two of us know which card Dory is.
Maybe I don't.
Well, considering that I've got a commission into someone for Dory as the death card.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I forgot.
I kind of like looking at the meaning here, because the website says, look upon the movements of change as full of promise and adventure. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was like, I should probably read this out loud. Sorry. I just started talking about cars instead of...
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's right. It's a very, like, vengeance, triumph, war associated with that, but it's also associated with, like, determination, victory.
Because I kind of feel like... literally any mouse guard character I've ever played.
Yeah,
that really does work with whole change because of the things you've done with the goal changing and all that.
True, you just like keep moving forward. Like a character that's very like forward facing would fit this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like mouse guard, that makes sense. Also, just the idea of like a little mouse in a chariot.
It is cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of your greatest successes won't come through limited thinking. And you combine knowledge of your mind with that of your heart and spirit, you're an unstoppable force. Very adventure-y. Very mouse guard.
Mm-hmm.
How many more these do you want to do? I just want to make sure I don't like go off the deep end into...
We've got like 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got some time.
The next one is... Oh, it's different in my deck than it is. So this is something that happens sometimes where like the numbers get all like flipped around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So strength is the next one listed on Wikipedia. In mine, I think it's justice for some reason. But anyway, let's go to strength.
Mm-hmm.
This is like almost always associated with like a lady and a lion. You know, a lady like taming a lion, a lady like, you know, it's very like associated with courage, fortitude. They're very similar to Chariot. It's almost like its counterpart in a way, like we were talking about with Emperor Empress.
Mm-hmm.
Strength is kind of like the feminine version, and Chariot would be like the masculine version, I guess. in quotes, but it's a lot of like inner strength, you know, passion, instinct. This is, you know, a lot of like triumph through force is what it is for like Eidolon power. This is the one I had listed for treble initially, and I think it still does fit them in a lot of ways. Especially because I think it's interesting, both like it fits them, both their like original version where they were like literally strong, and now it's more like a strength of will and stuff like associated with that.
As we were looking at strength, I was taking out Tavi, and as you were talking about inner strength, I was putting Tavi back away. He's, if you don't remember, he's my very strong mouse from Mouse Guard.
He would fit Chariot better. I mean, not just because we had talked about that for Mouse Guard, but also, like, I think it would just probably fit what I know of Tavi better.
Probably, yeah, probably.
But I also like the reverse meaning as being, like, emotional, not thinking things through. Stuff like that.
You just can't help being a Gemini.
God damn it. But in a different way.
Yeah, Geminis contain multitudes, correct?
So true. Yeah, I think I would put that still with treble. Because, I don't know. It's easy for me. The next one is the Hermit. The Hermit is very... I feel like I get the Hermit and the Hierophant confused sometimes. Because I associate it both with, like, old men. But the Hermit tends to be, like, seclusion, you know? More like, they tend to be more, like, humble, too. Like, you know, like a humble, like a humble monk that lives kind of, like, on their own. That you maybe go visit for wise advice and stuff. It's associated a lot with, like, loneliness. It's, literally, it isolates you as in Eidolon. But not, like, isolate, you know, that doesn't have to be, like, a bad thing. It just, you have to remember to come out of your isolation sometimes. But you can also, it's a lot of, like, reconsidering things, a lot of you know, I feel like I as a person, I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel this part a lot because I'm not just because I'm, you know, kind of an introvert, but also because, like, I have to, like, think through what I'm about to say before I talk, but I'm not a character, so
No, I mean, if it was people, that would possibly be me, except I'm extroverted. I'm still a hermit, though.
I don't think I have any characters that think before they speak.
You phrasing it that way made me doubt what I was gonna say.
Go for it!
Oh, I was gonna say, well, obviously there's Emery's character of Snake.
Yeah, that's literally their resonant card.
Yeah. But I was gonna also say Bamboo.
I think that would fit Bamboo, yeah. Like, I don't think it necessarily, like, she thinks through other things. Maybe not what she says.
No.
But other things. She's very, like, I'm gonna work on my own. And very, like, work you know, they have a relationship with, like, their own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very, like, studying, like, inside themselves.
We've never talked about Bumbu on the podcast.
Oh, right, because you weren't on the episode. Yeah.
Just real quick for the audience, Bumbu is a bunny character in Emery's Grey Pollen universe for the role-playing campaign we're doing. And Bumbu is like a tinkerer, mechanics type person who lives in a radio tower and like fixes and builds things. And basically they don't interact with people outside of like the basics and that.
Yeah, she's in the same game as like my character Ricotta and Quadra's Mucus.
Hell yeah, let's go.
And yeah, I think that fits her pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It also seems to really fit. Yeah. None of these cards mean what I think they mean.
Which card?
Just in general, I click on a card and I'm like, wouldn't have guessed that. I'd be really bad at making a tarot deck.
Well, the thing is a lot of it is interpretive, right? So I'd be curious to know how you're like interpreting some of the cards. Like, if you can remember, like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that.
But the hermit being a teacher, I'm like, what do you mean? That should be someone who stands in people's way. So, it's just what I feel. But it's like, this is someone you should, who is very careful. I'm like, it's not what I would think of a hermit. And then I click on the wheel and I'm like, yeah, the wheel. I know what a wheel is. A wheel goes round and round, so it's all about repetition. And it's not. It's about change.
It's about chance.
It's about guessing letters.
Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune is a game.
Yeah, about guessing letters. You're correct. Actually, you're supposed to guess the sentence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, buying letters so that you can guess the phrase.
Would you like to buy a vowel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been so long since I watched it.
Like, you would think of wheels, you would think of, like, things... But I feel like it does have to do with cycles. It's, like, cyclical change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very, like, things keep happening. There's ups and downs. It's, there's, chance of things going wrong, chance of things going right. The world continues on.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun because the deck I have open right now, it's not even a wheel. It's just some guys playing craps. Most of them they do have the wheel on them. I'm not sure why this one doesn't. But I just think that's kind of funny. The Wheel of Fortune is, a lot. It's associated a lot with like chance and change and fortune, success, luck. Who's lucky? Who of your characters is a lucky ass bitch?
Excalibur. For not being killed for impersonating priests several times.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I've got some really good rolls on that character because I have high charisma. I've talked myself out of many fights.
I mean, yeah, also, like, it kind of makes sense that even if they're not, a priest, they're still kind of associated with, like, faith and stuff. It's just more like chance-type faith.
I've been considering getting the lucky feet.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Well, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're a lot of times you're like sly, roguish characters might be wheel. You're at the mercy of the fates.
Wheel of this cat will scam your ass.
Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, I like the idea of a cat being on the Wheel of Fortune in general, because they're very like that. And also, I think there's a cat on the picture. Well, it's more like
It's a sphinx.
It's a sphinx, but like I could still picture that being replaced with like a cat guy.
True.
Yeah.
One more, or...
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to ask if that was the last one or if you guys wanted to do one more or...
Yeah, one more.
Whatever.
One more.
Yeah.
See, I see justice and I'm like, this is going to be about righteousness.
Correct.
Yes! I got it.
Yay!
Yep, that's right. That's,
But if it's about your own righteousness, it can once again be... my beautiful man, Lens. But if it's about actual being fair to people, then Lens is not available for this. Because Lens does think they're in the right, you know.
It tends to be justice in general. Like, there's consequences for your actions as associated. Yeah. Like, the situation becomes more fair, is what it is in Eidolon. Like, it's very like. You get this very, like, moral sensitivity. So I don't know if Lens would,
No.
Probably not.
No.
He might think he's justice, and he's not,
he's justice in his mind. Correct. Imagine facing the consequences of your actions. My OCs. I was gonna say could never, but I do put them through the ringer sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, his character is associated with, like, balance, harmony, you know, scale. There's a scale, you know, it's pretty, like, Lady Justice. It's pretty on the nose. It's pretty... Who has, like, a sense of morality, of a sense of
morality.
Or fairness, equality. It doesn't have, you know, it's not even, like, good necessarily, because it can also, like, be balancing the scales if you, in your detriment, you know, like, it can be like, well, good stuff keeps happening to you, so, like, something fucked up might be. Very karma-based. So,
I don't think I have anyone.
I don't know if I do. It's funny because I was almost thinking my own Eidolon character, but I don't think it really fits them. The one, Frankie, I think. I don't know. I keep wanting to use their fucking resonant for their card, but I don't know. Which is death, actually. But we're not going to get to death today. It's on the outside of everything, though, you know? Maybe...
I could sort of see this for Gilly. We can ask him.
Yeah, we could ask him. Maybe that's the way. Maybe we can keep that one open. And if we think of something, or if Emery wants it, you know, we can come back to that, because I'm not sure. Sorry to end on kind of an unsure note there, guys.
It happens.
It happens. I am getting really tired. So.
I have kind of a headache, so I'm glad we're ending.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna start with mine. You can find me on matchfromcouch.tumblr.com or on Instagram Quatre_cosplay.
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Tumblr and Blue Sky. You can... That's mostly it, honestly, but you can find my other podcasts, like The Sonic Hustle. Yeah.
This is Izzy. I have a fur affinity. It's Isadora. And you can find me at the Discord.
Yeah, you can also find that Discord linked on our other sites. Like, check out this guy on Tumblr and Blue Sky. I actually posted from our Blue Sky.
Hell yeah, that's
nice.
To be like, hey, there's 64 episodes of this thing. You should give it a listen. Because that's what's out right now. I know we're on a later episode than that, but anyway.
This is a noisepace.xyz podcast. Lots of good shows there. Should give them a listen.
Yeah. And I end my turn because we're doing Yu-Gi-Oh.
I place myself face down and end my podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we suddenly had no energy.
We're crashing. Yeah, that's what justice does to you. It doesn't make you more fair. It makes you more sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I put my justice card face down and end my turn.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.